Today I'm going to take you through a bit of a quick video on how to pack your bike in your box. So for those of you that will be flying to your starting destination or flying home, I've had a few questions from people about how to pack it up and what to do. So there's three options. You can take it into your bike shop and get them to do everything for you. You can come in, pick up a box from your bike shop and actually pack it yourself while you're there, so that if you need any help or have any questions, you've got a mechanic there on hand to ask them. Or you can pick the bike box up, take it on home, and if you're confident to do it yourself, you can do it yourself. So what you'll need to do this is a bike box from your local bike shop, free of charge. They just throw them out. You want to ask for the biggest one that you can get, because then you can keep your rear wheel on your bike, potentially. You'll need a tool to get your pedals off, and you'll need an Allen key set, and that's pretty much all you'll need. So let's get started. So for your pedals, unless you're really confident to do it, that's probably the one and only thing that you may need your mechanical bike shop to do, because it's just a trick of knowing which way to turn it. So if you're looking at your left pedal, looking at the bike, you want to be taking your left pedal and taking it clockwise, so you're pushing down. Take that all the way off. On the right side, looking at the bike, it's going to be anti-clockwise. So right pedal, anti-clockwise, left pedal looking at the bike, clockwise. Okay, take that off. So once your pedals are off, you're just going to take your front wheel off. Undo your brake, pop that off, and then you can also undo your seat. This seat post is going to be different to everyone else's. Normal seat post, you'll just have a little clamp down the bottom, and you just want to take your whole seat with your seat post out, but because mine's a little different, I'm just going to leave it on for now because we don't need to quite do that. So next thing to do is you're going to drop your handlebar off. So you get your Allen key set. And what you're going to undo is these four right here. We don't want to touch anything here. You're just going to undo these four, and then that's the last thing you'll need to do. Okay, so once you get these off, you don't want to lose any of these bolts. So you can either just take all these little bits and put it in a little Ziploc bag, or you can just put it back on and screw them back on, so then you know they're not going to get lost. Okay, so now we're ready to put it in the bike box. So, that should just slide. Okay, so with your spare wheel, you just want to take the little screw outside of it. Make sure you don't lose the springs. Put it back in there, tighten it up. Either put that in your little Ziploc bag as well, or just in the bottom of your bike box. Your spare wheel just slides down to the side of your bike frame. And now what you want to make sure is nothing's going to be banging and scratching each other. So just bring yourself a light sleeping bag or a sheet, and you just want to filter that in and tuck it all in and make sure that nothing's going to be scratching it. What I usually do is bring my helmet, shoes, any other bike stuff, and I'll just kind of fill the gaps, and I'll just kind of put them in. There's plenty of room in there, and it just gives you more room in your main bag. And making sure that, again, you don't lose any little bits and pieces. Put those in your main bag or in a bag and put them in here. Any other extra pillows or jackets or anything you have is a good idea to put in there as well, because then it just stops the movement going around. Close the bike box up and you're ready to go. Now for those of you that have an extra large frame and can't quite get a bike box that's big enough to be able to keep your rear wheel on, then you're going to have to take your rear wheel off as well. And this just becomes just a little bit more tricky. Now, the biggest thing here you want to do is making sure that you're protecting your rear derailleur, because you don't want this to get bashed around. So if you've got an old rag or some bubble wrap, you just want to put that around the back of it. Now when you're putting this in, all of the weight's going to be on your ring here. So what you want to do is just get another extra piece of cardboard and just place that in the bottom, because sometimes this will punch you through the bottom of the bike box and you don't really want that. So I'm going to put this in here, and same as before, drop this in. And then you just want to making sure that, again, you're putting something around that rear derailleur so it doesn't get bashed and get put out of place. And same concept, you want to take this out, put that on one side, and you're going to take this out, and just making sure that this here is somehow protected from either puncturing the outside of the box, or if you've got it on the inside, make sure it's protected from damaging your frame. And everything else goes exactly the same way. One very key important aspect, once you've got everything packed up, is you want to actually let air out of your tyre. If you've got this at 100 psi and you're taking it on a plane, then it has a tendency to be popping in the plane. So you want to make sure you let all of your air out before you take your box up. When you're putting your bike back together and you're putting your pedals on, for those of you that are flying in, I and the mechanic that's going to be with us is definitely going to help you be able to put it back together. But just so you know, when you've got your pedals and you're ready to put them back on, they should have a little L and they should have an R on them. So it's really important that you're not putting the pedal on the wrong side, because you can strip your crank and that will cost you a lot of money. So you've got your left, and that's going on your left side of your bike, and it should just screw straight on. If you're having any issues with it not going in, then it could potentially mean you've got it on the wrong side.